I'm Holly Smith, your host on the Oils for Healing Summit, and today I'm here with Takara Shelor. She is a best-selling author, award-winning speaker, engineer, and consultant. After a life-altering mystical encounter with dolphins while meditating in 1993, she left her management career to start a nonprofit for dolphins and whales. She took a deep dive into personal and spiritual growth, alternative and complementary medicine, metaphysics, and energy healing. She was formally trained by leading aromatherapy expert, Dr. Jane Buckle from the UK. Using energy healing combined with essential oils, she has created Dancing Dolphin products that have been transforming lives since 1998. Welcome, Takara. It's so great to see you. Thanks for being here today.
It's great to be here, Holly. Thanks for having me.
Yes. Welcome. So, first of all, I always like to ask everyone, why did you decide to come on the summit today and share this amazing information about essential oils?
Well, I think that any opportunity like this summit is important for people to have the opportunity to learn more about essential oils and flower essences and other energy healing products, and also to just expand their understanding of all things energy healing.
Great. I love it. So tell us a little bit about how you were introduced to aromatherapy and how you came to study essential oils.
I was an engineer, and there was a lot of stress in that position. Eventually, that stress led to an actual, I call it the metaphysical 2x4 upside the head experience, okay? I literally hit the wall from stress. And in my process of coming back to center and finding balance and understanding more about who I am, which that situation made me realize there's a lot about myself I didn't know, and there were things that needed to be healed that I was unaware of. And so I started kind of going down that journey. And when I was doing that, I started working with a woman who did a lot of help for me. She did Reiki, she did, all kinds of stuff. And it was her suggestion that I go with her to a course on holistic aromatherapy being taught by Dr. Jane Buckle. And so together, she and I both attended this workshop, and it just opened up that whole world for me.
Great. So tell us just how you got involved with essential oils then and complementary medicine. Obviously, this class was your introduction, and then where did you go from there?
Well, that class was the first introduction to aromatherapy and essential oils. But as I was healing, basically, from a very traumatic experience, which surfaced when I hit the wall from the stress. I was just intuitively drawn, almost automatically, to complementary medicine, energy healing, Ayurveda, all kinds of different technologies and techniques just suddenly opened up to me, which before I wouldn't even considered, actually. And so as I started to study, certain things became like a really strong pull. And one of those was meditation. So I learned to meditate. And the first couple of times I started meditating, just following along a guided meditation, the next thing I know, I'm seeing dolphins everywhere. It makes me cry, sorry. Anyway, they just showed up almost as a rescue team, to take care of me. And in these meditations, that's not at all what I was supposed to be seeing, but that's what just happened spontaneously. I would see dolphins in the water at a distance, and then eventually I was seeing dolphins up close, and then I could actually feel them. And finally, in the end, it was like I was belly to belly to a dolphin, and it was spinning me through the air, through the water. And in that spinning, so obviously spinner dolphins, but spinning me through the water like a torpedo, it was like shedding all this emotion, and I would be crying, and all this energy and all this icky, past garbage was being released. And so that was sort of my first experience with energy healing, really, was this dolphin thing that happened in a meditation. So I started doing a lot with dolphins, and eventually, like you said in the intro, I left the corporate world as an engineer and manager and went off to start a nonprofit for dolphins and whales. And I became very drawn to flower essences, dolphin energy healing, So just like when I studied aromatherapy with a professional, I felt guided to study flower essence and gem essence creation from a professional. And as I was coming back from studying that, from a weekend workshop of studying that, I suddenly was feeling inspired to combine it with other things, like making it more of a synergistic thing than just a specific flower essences or just, like aromatherapy is typically, you've got either a flower essence blend, or sorry, an essential oil blend, or you have, a single essential oil. Well, this was working with flowers or gems, but also adding in aromatherapy and adding in the energy and making it much more of a synergistic product with multiple layers of healing and help in there. So that's what I started working with.
Great. So explain the difference between, because you've talked now a little bit about flower essences, gem elixirs. Explain a little bit about the difference between the flower essence and essential oil.
Okay, so the people that are watching your summit are obviously very familiar with essential oils and aromatherapy. You take organic, hopefully, flowers, and you with low pressure and low temperature, you distill out, pressing and taking out of them the oil, which is like the blood of the plant. And they have these amazing, amazing scents, and they're very, very healing. But what they've concluded, they work very, very well for physical issues, and also emotional issues. But some problems are more spiritual and energetic in nature. They can be. And so a flower essence is, you take a flower in its full bloom and in a very sacred, basically prayerful kind of way, you take a crystal bowl of water that's very pure, and on a sunny day when you feel intuitively guided or spiritually guided, you clip a bloom or 2 or 10, depending on your intuition. Those blooms drop into the bowl of water. Again, with prayer, you ask the overlighting deva of the flower to infuse the flower's energy or essence into the water. And so you receive inspiration about how long you should leave it in the water, but it's sun rays through the flower petals infuse this energy into it, so it becomes just vibrational. And then eventually the flowers are removed and you just have water. So typically it looks like water, and only under certain situations, only kind of great unexpected situations, do you ever have an aroma. Occasionally it happens. In fact, one time I made a flower essence from sunflower, and the entire bowl turned gold. Like the water turned gold. And I was like, I'd never seen anything like it. No one else I talked to had ever seen anything like it. So it's a really, really special essence. But one time I made mountain laurel, and I had backpacked into this sacred place. And what I ended up with was a backpack with this water being jostled around. And it came out smelling just amazing, because the aroma had actually gotten into the water as well. So occasionally that happens. But so with an essential oil, you have pressed actual flower parts.
Yes.
And with a flower essence, you have an energetic signature. And it's completely vibrational, and spiritual and energetic and metaphysical in nature, really. So I combine the two. I take, the aromatherapy and add it to an oil that I've added these flower essence and gem essence drops to, and that's kind of the products that I work with.
So then the gem essence or elixir is basically you do a similar type of thing, but with a gemstone of some sort.
So you get either one giant, or again, it's whatever you're intuitively guided to do. But I did a lot with sets of gems that are all the same. Like blue sapphire, I had like something like 8. And they were all the same size and all the same cut. And so there were 8 of the stones in the bowl, and they stayed in water. And so it's an energetic signature of blue sapphire. So yeah, similar idea.
Yeah, great. So, so you know all of basically the properties of each of those particular gems or flowers, and that's what you're trying to activate that particular thing in the body, and so then that's what helps, or in the spirit, in the
right,
the aura,
right, in the energy field.
Exactly. Yes, in the energy field. Exactly. Yes, exactly. Okay, cool. Yeah. So, so please explain what you mean by your quote, intuition is very important in healing, because obviously I think we've kind of gotten away from that in our traditional Western medical model. And I agree with you that it is very important, because that's what drew me to essential oils for my healing, and some of the other things that you've discussed. So tell us about how important that is.
Well, I think that when you are working consciously to improve your health, your well-being, your level of joy, all the things people work on, their relationships, everything you work on to try to improve in your life, there's a transformation that the person goes through. And the more you transform, the more you clear, I call it, the more you release the baggage from the past, the disharmonious energies, like you start eating better, you start hanging out with nicer people. I mean, there's this whole thing that you do. In that process, you are, your intuition becomes cleaner, I call it. Like, it's not tainted with fear or limiting beliefs or judgments or expectations. It's much more pure. And from that space, you just kind of know things, and the more you work on yourself, the more you truly do know things. And then the more that you have this spontaneous knowing, and you are guided to the perfect essential oil or the perfect flower essences or the perfect gem or whatever it is. So if you're working with a client, everybody that works with essential oils that I'm aware of, you learn the encyclopedia of essential oils, right? You have a book you refer to, or you have a glossary where you can look up, I have this symptom or I have this disease, and what are all the oils that are good for that? Well, sometimes the reason for the problem isn't what the problem is. So treating something like eczema with what they tell you is the problem and what you should treat it with in an essential oil or flower essence or whatever, if you found the root cause of the eczema, which may be a belief, it could be a fear, it could be a trauma that never got healed from the past, maybe another product would be the best thing to heal the root cause, as opposed to dealing with the symptoms, which some of this other is doing. And so when you get really in tune and you're comfortable, you're confident, then you can be talking to someone or working with someone, and just it'll flip through your head, your mind, just this little idea of, I bet this product would be perfect for this person. And it's not logical. It's not because you memorized what it's for. It's because you're really one-on-one, heart intuiting what the person needs or what you need. And so when you get to that level, I think that's when things really make a difference, and when the almost miraculous healing occurs is when it was all intuitive.
Great. Yeah, I agree with you on that. So obviously that's what has gone into the Dancing Dolphin products that you now sell. And so what is the Dancing Dolphin difference? And can you tell us kind of your process that you went through to create these products?
Right. Well, I mentioned about the dolphin meditation that occurred. Yes. That still happens. When I do meditations, I still see dolphins. I take people to swim with them. We dolphins have sort of taken over. But I have this ability, if people are familiar with Reiki or energy healing or hands-on healing, there is a universal healing energy that people can access and channel through their body, through their hands. Well, for some crazy reason, I'm able to do that with dolphin healing energy. So the people that swim with dolphins in the wild tend to, all kinds of crazy things happen, not crazy, but wonderful things happen physiologically and psychologically when a person swims with dolphins. And somehow those same energies and same opportunities occur when I put my hand on something or I send energy to a person. And so I hold every single bottle and I do basically a prayer, asking the dolphin energy to come in, asking for the highest and best good of whoever the bottle is going to be received by. It contains the aromatherapy I'm guided to put in there. It contains the flower gem blend that I create, and it could be a custom blend or just one of the blends that I market. So it's got this whole energy piece going on with it that's totally unique. The dolphin healing piece is just completely unique, and that's why I call it the Dancing Dolphin difference.
Oh, I love that. So, what are some of your different recipes that you have in these different products? Do you have some that are good for stress? Are there some that are good for headaches? What are some of your different formulas, and how did you come up with those?
Usually the formulas are brought about because I need something. I'm like, okay, I got a headache. Do I have anything I could put together for this? Or someone asked me for something, and I also have a fair number of healers, people that work with private clients that call me up and they say, I'm seeing a lot of clients that have this issue. Do you have anything, or can you make something? So I sort of tailor for people that work one-on-one with others. I have a lot of that. But I have different areas of interest. So the first two things that you mentioned stress, you mentioned a headache. I call these like everyday issues. We periodically, we all have one or the other. And so I have a whole line of things to address the sort of everyday issues. So I have inner peace is for stress. I have for pain. So afterwards you say, that feels better. So we just called it Another one in that line is for deep relaxation. It's called Relax. It uses sandalwood, which is a great relaxing essential oil in there. Let's see, Inner Peace uses lavender for those interested in that sort of thing. I'm not going to remember what they all use because I've got I have a huge catalog. But I have these everyday issues, okay? Then I have people that are on a very sacred spiritual journey. They're actively trying to raise themselves up in vibration, grow spiritually, and empower in an empowerment. And so I've got a whole lines of products that work in those areas, things that help you align with the divine in a deeper way, things for energetic protection, things that help with meditation, different areas.
Great. Can you, so in the spiritual realms, you're using more of the, obviously essential oils would go into there, but using more of the flower and gem essences to
get that
affect the aura in that way and affect that connection.
What happens is all of my products are in fractionated coconut. Everything's organic, but it's fractionated coconut, jojoba, and red raspberry seed oil. That's the base. Then it gets the flower gem blend that it needs. So all of them have that in there.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Everyone then gets me blessing it, with holding my hands on there. And I also, with certain blends, I already have aromatherapy picked. If I'm doing custom blends for people, I have a way to find out what aromatherapy they need. So I add that at that time too. So all of them have all of that.
Got it.
Yeah.
Great. So is there anything what else would you like to leave our listeners with? Would you, do you have, first of all, I know you have a website, so where they can actually get these products. And then is there something specific that you'd like to leave them with? Some tidbit of information?
I think the tidbit I would like to leave is that no matter where you are, no matter how happy, how healthy, where you are with your finances or relationships, no matter where you are, it can always get better. I don't believe that there's anything that can't be improved, changed, upgraded. I've seen things that looked horrible turn around completely, and people start to thrive. And so I just don't give up. That's my bottom line.
Yeah, great. So what is your website then?
So my website is magnificentyou.com. That's the word magnificent followed by the letter U.com.
great.
And I've got two things on there. One is you can link directly to the store. It just says store. So there's a link on there to go to the store and check out the products. But I also have what's called a Magnificent You starter kit.
Great.
And I give away free ebooks and audios and all kinds of things to help people just step into their true magnificence. I say these words: step into your true magnificence, align with the divine, and get into perpetual flow with the universe where miraculous things can happen. So that little kit can help people do that.
I appreciate that, and I know our viewers will appreciate that as well. Great. So just one last thing. What do you feel is your favorite, since we're on essential oils, what's your favorite essential oil or your favorite blend?
Okay, I'll answer both.
Okay, perfect.
My absolute favorite oil, straight up oil, is sandalwood. But it takes a lot to get a good one. You have to try a bunch of them, and I've done that over the years. 20 years of working with them. They're all very different, and so if you try it and you don't like it, maybe you didn't get a good one. Try another one, right? So there's places that offer samplers where you get to try 2 or 3 or 4, like in little tiny, little itsy bottles. I really suggest that as a great thing to do, because then you can, I do that with frankincense, I do that with sandalwood. But the blend that I prefer, it's actually called Valor, and it's by Nature's Gift. So it's not the Young Living Valor. It's a completely different blend, but the reason for it is the same. It's like, I don't know. I use it a lot in my product line. They blend it special for me in larger quantities, and it's one of those oils that it smells different on everyone. It's a really, really neat blend. So
cool.
that's my
awesome. Yeah. Thank you so much for being here today. I appreciate all your wonderful information, and I know our viewers will too. And I hope you have a great day.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.